This video focuses on the full service payroll within QuickBooks Online. The real difference between full service payroll and QuickBooks Online payroll is Intuit does the taxes as well as the forms and helps you with the setup, including converting from desktop file and making sure the payroll is set up correctly. And it's in the same place though. You go to employees. Looks a lot like just a normal QuickBooks Online payroll. The actual employee setup is very similar, although, again, you'll get help because it's full service payroll, so Intuit can help you with that. But basically, those pencil icons are the same and everything seems very similar, including even adding an employee. Seems like a very similar workflow as you would be used to with QuickBooks Online payroll. The payroll settings, though, are a little different. When I go to the gear icon settings, payroll settings, I notice that it's not as many. Again, we're handling a lot of the taxes. We're handling the forms and things like that. So basically, you have some email preferences, like who wants to get the email to remind you to, at least run payday. And when you run the payroll, then Intuit takes over from there with the taxes and the forms. Accounting preferences, and then the ability to bring the W-2 data into a TurboTax return. And those are the settings. When you're doing the do-it-yourself QuickBooks Online payroll, there's many more settings and preferences. So we'll go back to the employees there. Reports are the same. You'll find them here before I run payroll. Just want to show you here. Here's all my managed payroll reports, and these are exactly the same as if you had just the QuickBooks Online payroll. So we'll run a payroll here, and the next payroll due is 8/28, but let's just run a payroll. And I'm actually going to do a previous pay period, so we'll do like last week. Okay, perfect. Choose the bank account, and we'll just put in, regular hours to pay that they worked, and it's going to calculate their total pay. And we'll click Preview Payroll, and here's where the window changes a little bit too. Preview and Submit Payroll shows the pay period, that I have either Thursday through Wednesday, the submission date, and then the pay date. And then here's the payroll, and I can drill into, say, my paycheck here just to see what it looks like. And my taxes. Yeah, so it's very similar to the QuickBooks Online payroll. However, I believe the date ranges are more locked in because, again, we are taking the responsibility. I should say Intuit's taking the responsibility of the payroll taxes, the liabilities, as well as the forms, the liability in general. Right? So all you're going to do is deliver these paychecks by direct deposit or what have you, and then we take care of the rest. You can run some reports, and that is why the dates are more locked in. And when you're done, you just submit the payroll, or you can save it for later if you're not sure. Remember, go ahead and click Submit Payroll. Let's take a look at the paycheck list, the paychecks we just submitted there, and there's a little difference here too. I can drill in to see the details. However, it shows the status of not being processed yet. So that's important to know. Again, with a full service payroll, Intuit's taking care of most of the burden. So you'll see changes in status, yet I can still drill in and delete a paycheck if it's not been processed yet. Still, I would encourage you to contact the full service payroll support team before you're going to delete anything out of full service payroll, because again, we are taking on the liability of the payroll taxes and forms. If this paycheck was in a prior period and it was to affect that, I would hope they wouldn't even allow you to delete it. So best to contact the support team there. Now, a big difference between the QuickBooks Online do-it-yourself payroll and the full service payroll is that you will need to sign some legal forms that allow Intuit to pay payroll taxes and file the forms, and allow Intuit to represent the small business in tax matters and communicate with the government agencies on your behalf. So though I can view payroll reports and I put in the check numbers here, and I can either print pay stubs, or if I had direct deposit, that would be it. And it tells me when to deliver, the checks to my employees by. It does prompt me to sign forms. And if we go to taxes and payroll tax, see what that looks like. Again, these are the upcoming tax payments that we'll make in the next 30 days. Right? And as far as the forms go, it'll give you any forms that we have filed or haven't filed for you yet to retain for your records. So, and again, the reports are going to be the same as the do-it-yourself payroll. So if I go to payroll details, right, I'm trying to build my payroll summary report. And since I only have the one pay date there, I'm going to do summary by employee and then run the report. And then here's my payroll summary. Just notice that the employees are on the left instead of the actual items. The items are actual columns. So that would be different from the payroll summary report. in QuickBooks Desktop.